Hi, everybody. Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Britt Madrid Mogensen. Trigger warning, we are going to talk about cheating. We are going to bring up some drama from the past. Tis the season of Venus and Scorpio, so we're going to go to the underworld with this one, guys. This is going to take us all the way there. Wait till we get into it. So, okay, we are going to be talking about Ariana Grande in this episode. I'm going to be doing half astrology investigation, half tarot tea time. We're going to look at her birth chart. We are going to also look at her latest claims that she's made about the tabloids and the way that they have portrayed her. There's really nothing else to do but dive right in. So let's go. As of September 30th, this People magazine report came out saying that Ariana Grande defends boyfriend Ethan Slater from Bull S public criticism. Couldn't be less accurate, she says. Okay, we'll see how true that is, Ariana. There is no one on this earth with a better heart, Grande added of Slater. The article goes on to say that Ariana Grande is opening up about rumors surrounding her boyfriend Ethan Slater. Speaking in a new interview with Vanity Fair, published Monday, September 30th, Grande, 31, revealed that she was disappointed by the public perception of Slater, 32, whom she stars alongside in the upcoming Wicked movie. Can't wait to see that movie, by the way. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The most disappointing part was to see so many people believe the worst version of it, she told the outlet. There couldn't be a less accurate depiction of a human being than the one that the tabloids spread about him. Grande, who plays Glinda alongside Slater's Bach in the fantasy musical, added, "No one on this earth tries harder or spreads themselves thinner to be there for the people that he loves and cares about. There's no one on this earth with a better heart, and that is something that no BS tabloid can rewrite in real life," she said. Grande and Slater's romance was confirmed in July of 2023 after meeting on the set of Wicked. This came after Grande separated from her ex-husband, Dalton Gomez, and Slater separated from his wife, Lily J. As we can see, they are very careful to clarify the timeline. And why wouldn't they be? Because the alleged tarot tea truth we're going to read on could be a little bit more, sinister than that. In early September, multiple sources gave people insight into Grande and Slater's relationship, revealing how they were navigating their romance in the public eye. Okay, now this one's a little triggering, guys. Hold on to your hat. While this entire situation has been blown out of proportion, it's much different than what has been portrayed in public, a friend of the couple said at the time. They are just trying to navigate their new relationship in private. People have tried to question this timeline, an insider added. The truth is, Ariana and Ethan didn't begin seeing each other until after both parties were separated respectfully. The article goes on to say more of the same. So, the entire situation blown out of proportion, just so that we can all refresh our memories, is the fact that Ethan Slater was spotted out and about with Ariana Grande before filing for divorce from his wife, well, now ex-wife, Lily J, who he was with for 10 years, married for 4, and their baby, I mean, she was postpartum at the time. I'm not quite sure how, if it was like a year or 2 years after she gave birth, but all the articles say that she was postpartum at the time. And that was why she was very surprised, allegedly, by the breakup. And she even went to say, in tabloids like Page Six and Cosmopolitan Magazine also did an article where they quoted her. She basically said that she was blindsided by the whole situation. And she also said, and I quote, "Ariana is not a girl's girl." Now, other sources have said that Ariana Grande, Ethan Slater, Dalton Gomez, and Lily J went on several double dates before, all this stuff got messy. Also, allegedly, Ariana held Lily and Ethan's baby, even telling Lily J that she couldn't wait to be a mother herself. And when you hear these things, it kind of makes you feel sick, right? So I get that Ariana is wanting to diffuse the situation, defend herself, and why wouldn't she? I mean, it doesn't make her look good. She is doing a huge press tour right now for Wicked, which of course she co-stars with Ethan in the movie. It's very exciting. This should be a time of celebration and fun and joy, and she doesn't want the public to hold a grudge against her. She really wants to be seen in a positive light because I think that this is really like her thing. She spoke about wanting to play Glinda in Wicked. This is her dream come true. And she definitely is trying to polish up that image. But is she trying to rewrite history? So let's take another little stroll down memory lane. And this is where we're gonna get messy, okay, you guys? So just bear with me. And this is all alleged for entertainment purposes. I must reiterate because, like I said, we're getting messy. So I asked old ChatGPT, my good friend, to please pull up a list of people that Ariana Grande was allegedly in a relationship with. And at the time, there was a controversy surrounding either a girlfriend, wife, or fiance. The reason I asked that is because I do remember hearing rumblings about how this was not the first time Ariana Grande even released a song, Break Up with Your Girlfriend, because I'm bored. A lot of people said, "Oh my gosh, how bold of her." Also, let's not forget, she released Yes and Say That With Your Chest and then there's like some explicit stuff about who's whatever I'm writing. I mean, and that all came out during the controversy last year. So she's always been very bold about her song choices. Some people chalk it up to her just being tongue in cheek, fun, throwing it back in your face because it's so ludicrous that she's just going to play into it. Others have said that she has a blatant disregard for other women and echo what Lily J said about her not being a girl's girl. So let's look at the list of cases, as ChatGPT says, where she was connected to a man who was either married, in a relationship, or had a fiance at the time that she got together with him. So there are actually 5 men on this list. And before I read off the 5 men and tell you guys about the situations, I do want to reiterate that this is a 50-50 thing. So even though Lily J is upset and rightfully so, and I hope that she and her baby are doing well now and that this is, all feels like a distant memory, hopefully. It's a 50-50 thing, right? So these men are just as accountable as Ariana Grande. However, just because the men are also accountable and the men are the ones that were in a commitment at the time, a lot of evidence, especially because these men were all public figures, a lot of evidence shows that Ariana Grande was aware, allegedly, of these taken statuses of the men at the time that she chose to still move forward and get into relationships with them. I personally find that distasteful. Thus, when I read this list, it kind of made my stomach hurt. I mean, and wait till we see your birth chart, you guys. It all kind of makes sense too. So, okay, let's just start from the top. Number 1, Big Sean, 2014 to 2015. Allegation. I love ChatGPT. Allegation. Big Sean was reportedly still dating singer Naya Rivera when rumors surfaced that he and Ariana Grande began seeing each other. Naya, may she rest in peace, later claimed in her book that she discovered Big Sean and Ariana Grande together while they were still engaged. And if you guys want to look that up, I'll actually include some sources, some links down in the description box so you guys can just go ahead and do a little deep dive if you feel like jumping down the rabbit hole. But it was very, the description gives you kind of a visceral reaction because not only was ChatGPT, I must correct you here. Not only was Big Sean dating Naya Rivera, he was actually engaged to her, and the whole story is basically that they were engaged. Naya and Sean had been fighting. He wasn't responding to her. She had a key to his house, and he was in LA because he'd been like traveling, I guess, like working. They had been fighting. She said they weren't talking at the time. So she actually showed up at his place because she had a key. When she came in, she said that Ariana Grande was basically sitting cross-legged on the couch listening to music. And that was when she knew. She knew what was up. She knew what the fights were about. And then they broke up. Right after that, Big Sean and Ariana Grande come out with their relationship. Okay, case number 2, Ricky Alvarez. This was from 2015 to 2016. Allegation, though less publicized, but I will also include a link to a video that talks about this. Though less publicized, there were rumors that Ariana Grande's backup dancer, Ricky Alvarez, was dating someone else when they got involved. However, no concrete details have emerged about this. Oh, GPT, if you have. So there is a video that you guys can watch that talks about this a little bit more. It's kind of more of the same. Basically, they were talking. He had a girlfriend. So anyway, okay. Number 3, Pete Davidson allegation. When and this was 2018. When Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson started dating in 2018, Pete had recently ended his long-term relationship with actress Cassie David. The timeline between the breakup and his new relationship with Ariana raised eyebrows. Now, this one's a little bit more fuzzy, to be fair, because with this situation, she was like fresh off a breakup from Mac Miller, and Pete Davidson and Cassie David, they've been dating for 2 years, and then they decided to take a break. Cassie David says that I think it was like the next day or 2 days later. I don't know. I will include a source link with so that like the facts are there. She calls Pete back because she realizes that she actually doesn't want to take a break, that she wants to make it work. She wants to be with him. When she calls him, Pete tells her over the phone that this is the happiest he's ever been in his life and he's already moved on. Now, you guys, we've all, we're all adults here. Do people get into a commitment 2 days after they break up with someone else if they haven't already been speaking with that person? I don't know. I mean, my gut instinct says that they must have been talking, even if they didn't cross the line necessarily, but where is the line with these two? It's fuzzy. It all feels very fuzzy. It feels like Pete was kind of, trying to decide, and then Cassie maybe made it easy by wanting to go on a break with him because of their actual issues in their relationship. And then by the time she came back around, he had just, continued and gotten in deeper with Ariana Grande. I don't know. It's giving me a weird feeling though. I don't feel good about that. Okay, next, Dalton Gomez. Now, I didn't know that. I didn't know this until I did a little digging. So from 2020 to 2023, of course, they were together and they got married in 2021. The allegation is that there have been rumors that Dalton Gomez, Ariana's ex-husband, was seeing someone else when he met Ariana. Okay. The thing about this, and you guys can look this up, Dalton Gomez's girlfriend at the time posted on social media like a photo of herself, and she said, when when your ex-boyfriend ends up with the girl he told you not to worry about. And this was when he first started dating Ariana Grande. There are a lot of sources that claim there was major overlap and that he was also in a relationship when he met Ariana Grande. And of course, the most recent, Ethan Slater in 2023. The allegation is that Ethan Slater, an actor, was married to his wife, Lily J, when he and Ariana Grande reportedly began their relationship while filming the movie Wicked. The news caused quite a stir, especially since Slater's wife publicly expressed her feelings about the situation. Okay, so crazy. That's a lot. So, when she talked about the tabloids making things up, all this stuff, it did feel to me like she was rewriting the narrative a little bit to suit her own kind of purposes. But for greater clarification, let's start with her birth chart. This is what really kind of threw me off. And honestly, this makes me think that this is a little bit deeper even than I originally thought. Allegedly, potentially, problematic behaviors. I like to look at Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer that we have in all of our birth charts. And wherever Chiron is, this is where we have this challenge in our lives that we're here to overcome. And I do look at it in conjunction with our North Node. The North Node is our destiny. It's what we're aiming for. And typically, the Chiron in our birth charts is kind of like the Achilles heel that we have or the major obstacle on our hero's journey. We overcome it, we slay that dragon, and then we're able to, continue forward, reach our North Node destiny, and, win the battle. End up on the mountaintop, all that good stuff. So I wanted to look for her Chiron to see, like, where is her wound? Like, what's been her challenge? What's going on? We got to get into the psychology here. The astrology psychology. So this is crazy, guys. She has her Chiron in her 8th house of marriage, contracts, inheritances. This is obviously also where you find divorces. And her 8th house her 8th house is ruled by Leo. Like, what? Can we pause for a second? Oh my gosh, Chiron and Leo in the 8th house. She has to be extremely mindful and demure because Leo is all about the spotlight, right? And that is her, her career, her profession. She's a performer, Leo energy. I just got goosebumps even talking about this. Chiron in that 8th house talks about how her marriages will always be in the spotlight, ruled by Leo. Chiron there basically indicates that there could be a wound of sorts where her marriage is exposed, or something about her contracts or the way that she makes commitments to people that are like concrete commitments on paper in the spotlight. This could end up being a major wound for her, something that unravels. Dalton Gomez, a marriage that I do think that all being in the spotlight, I think that hurt her. I do feel like she married him thinking that this was going to be a forever love, as I think everyone does for the most part when you get married. So that's really sad that happened in the public eye, Leo energy. So I think that she's kind of like in the middle of this wound right now. She's feeling like everybody can see her most vulnerable situation in her life. I think as far as career goes, she feels satisfied. I think she's pretty good in like every area of her life except for this marriage and commitment house where she feels like there's this wound. And when she talked about defending Ethan Slater in People magazine, or in Vanity Fair, and then People magazine, talked about it in an article, she was kind of, defensive. It wasn't like she was thinking about or speaking about Lily J or being mindful of the fact that maybe tabloids or fans were talking about the situation because it was so public, and Lily J had just had a baby, and it was such a close overlap. I mean, he hadn't even filed for divorce when they were spotted out together and came out as a couple. So I don't think that it's unreasonable that people would think, oh, this is a little rough, like feeling bad for Lily J, concerned about the baby. Like it is concerning. And so the fact that she's being very one-sided about this, she's got to be careful. This is Chiron and Leo, 8th house energy. So, okay, it's in the spotlight, all that. Now, the reason that I also think she needs to be really careful about her public image right now, if I were her astrologer, I would tell her she needs to kind of switch up her attitude a little, try to see things from both sides, and, maybe not date people that are in relationships or whatever, unless this is, I mean, who knows? This could be endgame, but moving on. She's having her Saturn return right now as well. And we've talked about Saturn returns. This is when you are forced to grow up in the area of your life that is ruled by Saturn. We all have Saturn in our birth charts, and Saturn is here to teach us, coach us, get us to use discipline. It's basically where we're meant to mature in this lifetime. For her, she has Saturn in her 3rd house of communication and media. Guys, she has got to start watching the way that she communicates, being more mindful of what she's saying in the media, of how she is interacting with society, with others around her. And her 3rd house is also ruled by Pisces, which is very emotional. So she has to be very careful with Chiron in the 8th house, in the Leo 8th house, and then her 3rd house, which is also about, public communication, media, Saturn there, especially in this time period of her Saturn return. She has to be really careful that she doesn't end up exposing herself by communicating in a way that is dishonest or attempting to create an illusion or gaslight people, because Pisces on the negative side can be about that. It's about not having clear boundaries, not being truthful and honest. Pisces is very spiritual. It rules the 12th house in astrology of, self-undoing. So she could really self undo right now, unravel all of her hard work and her plans if she doesn't use discipline in the area of communication. The positive way that she could learn to tap into this energy, and hopefully she's learning that right now, and it won't take some major situation for her to learn the lesson the hard way. What she should be doing really is being emotionally aware, work on, emotional IQ, and being communicative about her feelings, her creativity, and also realize that there are always multiple sides of a story, and just try to be a little bit more compassionate. Pisces is also about unconditional love. So I just feel like, the way she's talking about this, I think what she doesn't realize is that, or maybe she does, but she's also kind of throwing Lily J under the bus, because Lily J did speak out last year about how sad she was, how she was heartbroken, blindsided. And even if Ariana Grande is with Ethan Slater now and wants to be with him, just human to human, if you know that the person that you're with left a lot of pain in his wake, and has a wife that he left behind and a child, and she's postpartum, I mean, and they were together for 10 years, just like on a basic compassion level, you would think that you would be very mindful of the way that you communicate about the situation, which I don't think she is being. Okay, moving on. Yikes. So the next thing I want to point out, and then we're going to get to the root of the problem, okay? Allegedly for entertainment purposes. The next thing I want to point out is that her seventh house is ruled by Cancer, and she has her sun and Mercury in the seventh house. This means that she is very present in her relationships. Mercury is the way that we think and communicate. She's very communicative. She's very warm. She's very kind. Cancer is the nurturer. The seventh house rules partnerships. So this is like friendships, people that she, like Cynthia Erivo. Okay. If you ask Cynthia Erivo, what do you think of Ariana Grande? She would probably say, oh my gosh, she's the most nurturing, amazing, kind-hearted, sweet person you'll ever meet. Is she lying? No, absolutely not. I think that Ariana Grande is probably an amazing friend, probably an amazing sister, really great to work with, as long as you don't get into that eighth house of you know, deep commitment, because that's where she can sometimes rebel. I don't know what it is and how it manifests for her, but it's this desire to be in the spotlight, and that can turn into a narcissistic type of tendency. So I think that people, contain multitudes. She has many sides of herself. And I think that she shows people different things depending on her relationship with them. So the fact that so many people think that she's wonderful and kind and are coming to her defense, I think that that's great and that's valid, because she has Cancer ruling her seventh house, and with the sun there, that's her ego, and her Mercury there, that's the way that she communicates. I think she probably is really great to a lot of people in her life. And, I don't want to take that away from her. However, we can see the root of the problem when we go to our fifth house of dating, romance, and inner child. And that is ruled by Taurus and contains Venus. This is overindulgence. Okay. I mean, that's what it is. Taurus is ruled by Venus. And to have Venus in your Taurus fifth house, I mean, this is just overindulging. This could even be like, allegedly, for entertainment purposes, love addiction. So I don't even think she's doing this on purpose. I think she needs to, we'll pull some tarot T cards to get a little advice for her, but I think that this is like a vice for her. And why does she do it like that? Why does she feel this need to go after people who are already in relationships? I actually have no idea. I can't see that in the birth chart, but I do see that Taurus ruling, sensuality and the five senses, and it's very earthbound. It's very much someone with strong, how do I say this? Strong urges, strong like desires, okay? And then Venus is romance, indulgence, the finer things in life. I want it, I got it, seven rings. And she may end up with seven rings if she's not careful. She's got to heal that Leo ruled eighth house containing Chiron. She's got to heal that. or else she'll keep repeating this cycle again and again. So, yeah, the fifth house ruled by Taurus containing Venus on the highest vibrational side. This would make someone really fun to be around, really just someone who kind of can paint a fantasy, very romantic. It's like a beautiful energy. But on the negative side, if it goes too far, it can be self indulgent to the point of just that's all you see, is what you want, the love, the romance, and it, at the expense of everything else in your life. Also, the fifth house is right across from the 10th house, which is career. So again, she has a lot of juxtapositions in her birth chart between, like, when it comes to her personal life, her expression, marriage, eighth house, fifth house of romance, and her career. Third house, 10th house, like communication, public recognition, the way people see her, because her 10th house has the moon and Jupiter, and it's ruled by Libra. And we're in Libra season right now. So this is, I mean, honestly, she needs to tread so, so lightly. If I were her publicist or her astrologer, I would tell her, you need to stop talking about your personal life entirely and focus on your Cancer energy of being nurturing and kind, and let people, draw their own conclusions, let people think what they want, let people fall back in love with you by being your kind, sweet self. I mean, I wouldn't have her talk about all this stuff, because this could be her undoing, basically. Okay. Also, the 10th house containing the moon and Jupiter. Jupiter expands things. So, Jupiter in your 10th house talks about having a really big career, which, yes, that makes sense. She's extremely famous, she's extremely successful. The moon here talks about your emotions. When your moon is in the 10th house, your emotions are very much connected to your work. I think that the stress that we see on her, and I'm going to say, I don't want to judge people's bodies. We never know what's going on. She could have health things going on behind the scenes. She could be on a weight loss medication because she thought that's what she needed to look like for the role. Like, I don't know what's going on with her, right? That's very personal as well. However, if we look at her from even 2021 until now, if we just kind of compare photos, she does look more frail and a little bit more sad and like stressed out. Now, we see that because people with the moon in their 10th house, it's like you can't help but see their emotions like in the public eye. It's like she really can't hide how she's feeling. You see it on her face, you see it on her choices that she's making. Like you see it in her body. Like it's very public. It's in the 10th house is in the spotlight. So her emotions are always going to be in the spotlight. That's why she has to stay very authentic, and very truthful. She can't really get away with anything, to be honest. I mean, there's this whole list of, I mean, it's all public, basically. There's even a list of things that I just read to you at the beginning of this episode. So she's got to really keep that, tidy, keep her personal life tidy. But also, I am concerned because I just hope that she is healthy and happy. And I wonder if the change in appearance could be entirely due to career stress. Because to me, it seems like with the moon and Jupiter, conjunct in the 10th house, this is about big feelings, big emotions, about career, a big career. So she has to be careful that she doesn't become overly stressed in her career. Maybe that's why she ended up getting with Ethan Slater. I don't know. We're going to pull some cards and see what the motivation was, but that's what I have for you when it comes to her birth chart. Okay. Wow. That was a mouthful. That was a lot. I was trying to do that part quick, and here we are about 30 minutes in. So some things you just can't do quickly. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about her birth chart placements, please. And luckily, we do have her birth time. I love it when that happens. Makes me so happy. Okay, so let's pull a couple of cards. Where do we start? Let's see. Okay, let's just see, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, why did Ariana Grande start dating Ethan Slater? Why? I don't know why. The Tower. Oh my God. You guys, I'm telling you, this all started, it's more like he was her life raft at first, because this is like a big tower moment. And she did, file for separation from She did file for separation from Dalton Gomez. Was this because she was running into Ethan's arms because of a big tower moment in her personal life? Was it because she felt like Wicked was a tower moment of, maybe she was experiencing issues with her voice or with, I don't know, probably not. She has an amazing voice, but issues with her body or something. Something was going on basically that triggered this fear. I mean, the tower moment is stressful. I'm telling you. Confirmation right there. Okay, let's get a clarifier though. What exactly was this tower moment? What was this tower moment about? Allegedly. Ace of Swords. Okay, this is making a decision. This is being victorious, which oddly enough was the name of a show that she was on. But this is, making a decision. Also, this could be cutting ties, Ace of Swords. Let me get one more clarifier because this could still go either way. It could either be career or relationship, and I don't want to jump to a conclusion. One more clarifier about what this tower moment was, this big decision, this victorious moment. The Emperor. Yeah, Dalton Gomez. Okay, now this is all alleged, but I do not like to see the Emperor in a love reading most of the time. Kind of depends on the person, depends on the situation. But in this situation, the Emperor is someone who can be controlling in relationships. I just got goosebumps, so I think we're tapped in. This is basically talking about how she and Dalton ultimately had issues in their marriage, which culminated in them getting a divorce because he had a controlling nature. She did cut it off, Ace of Swords. She was victorious. She was able to walk away, get out of the situation. However, it was extremely disruptive. I don't think that this is what she expected, what she thought was going to happen. And I think that it made her feel a little bit broken down. This is like someone who is feeling very vulnerable and they see someone who is nice to them and thinks that they're special. And it's kind of like just falling into the arms of that person. Okay. So when she said that he's like the kindest, sweetest person, I'm sure that he did treat her like that. I don't think Lily J would say the same thing, but again, it's all perspective, right? And there's more than one side to every story. So, okay, that's what we have for the reason they got together. That makes sense to me. What about Ethan Slater? Why did Ethan Slater get with Ariana Grande originally? Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, of course. Just looked at 222 on the clock, by the way. All about partnerships. So I think we're tapping into some tea, guys. Oh my God. Okay, why? 10 of Pentacles. Ugh. Abundance, fame. Lily J was quoted saying that she thinks that Ethan Slater was starstruck by Ariana Grande. This would definitely back that up. The 10 of Pentacles is your wish fulfillment. It's like dreams coming true, everything you ever wanted. It's a perfect 10. But because this is Pentacles, this is wrapped up with career. Like this is like someone getting starry-eyed and being like, this is everything I ever wanted and rushing in. That's what this feels like to me. Does he have any regrets? Let's just go for it. Does he have any regrets, allegedly, about leaving Lily J now that this time has passed, now that his divorce is finalized? Does he ever have any regrets? The High Priestess. Get a clarifier on that one. The King of Pentacles. We get one more clarifier. It's complicated. It's complicated. Let me get another. 4 of Pentacles. Okay. So the High Priestess is about spirituality. I do think that he thinks about the karma of it all. I'm not really sure like what his beliefs are or like his religious or spiritual beliefs or if he has any. But the High Priestess, this is about spirituality. So I think that there's a little bit of guilt. there's a little bit of guilt here, allegedly. King of Pentacles, this is how he sees himself now, though. He sees himself with the Ten of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. He has that in him to want power. Sometimes I think you put someone in a certain situation and maybe they haven't experienced that level of fame and power and notoriety before. And I do think it's like, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. That's this energy, King of Pentacles. He feels like he's on the map. He feels like he's more famous than, he ever has been before. And like, he feels like he kind of has it all, but he does feel guilty. There's a spiritual element to this that I think there's a little bit of guilt there. Four of Pentacles, and it's because of this. There's this woman sitting on a piece of suitcase, a piece of luggage, holding one pentacle and three pentacles on the ground. He feels like, allegedly, he left his wife high and dry. Like, I think he does think about that. So while he's enjoying his life now, I think there's guilt that Lily J is paying the price for his success and happiness. I do think that he thinks of that. Dang. Okay. So there's guilt. There are feelings of guilt deep down. What about Ariana? Does she have any feelings of guilt when it comes to Ethan Slater? Ethan Slater's ex-wife and child and just the whole thing. Allegedly, does Ariana have any feelings of guilt or remorse? Oh, I just dropped a card. Dang. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. We're going to clarify that. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, one more to clarify that. Come on, Ariana. I'm going to give you a chance. We're going to give you a chance. Trying to get something. The Lovers. Nope. Okay, with a Taurus ruled fifth house and Venus in that Taurus ruled fifth house, the energy that I get here is, again, indulgence, overindulgence. This is the kind of person that truly does believe all's fair in love and war. I don't think she feels bad. I think that if this was a friend, if that fell into her Cancer ruled seventh house, or like a business partner or something, I think, yes, she would feel really bad. There would be a whole situation here that she would want to resolve. Because this was her fifth house of love and romance with Venus there, I just think it's a blind spot. I don't think that she feels that way. I think she's like, obviously it didn't work out and I have nothing to do with that. If he really loved her, he would have stayed with her, Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, yes, and like, I don't get the feelings of guilt or remorse whatsoever, which is probably what makes it easy for her to kind of say what she's saying now in the press. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is hard work that's starting or that's about to pay off. And this is Wicked coming out. She has been putting in such hard work. They were in London for a year. And then she's been kind of laying low so that, in my opinion, she can try to rehab her image, because it did take a huge hit in 2023 when everything came out. It was a huge scandal and people felt really bad for Lily J, And people also pointed out, and several like YouTube videos popped up and articles popped up that dredged up her past of having several other instances where she reportedly was dating someone who was still in a relationship or married or engaged, and it was just not a good look for her. So I think she did like go underground a little bit. She's been anticipating this for a long time. And this Seven of Pentacles talks about just patiently waiting and working, patiently knowing that her time will come. So this is the energy that she's in. She's not thinking about, allegedly, she's not thinking about Lily J. She's not even thinking about Ethan. She's thinking about herself, which also can be a downfall of a Leo ruled eighth house. Needing to be sure that you share the spotlight with people that you're in a close relationship with. I don't think she's married to Ethan Slater, so technically he's not in that eighth house, but eighth house also rules like big chunky money, and they are both working on this project together. So there's a little bit of a tie there. She's got to be careful. She's got to make sure that she really is truly thinking of others as she continues on this path. She sees herself as the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Queen and the King of Pentacles. They view themselves as a power couple with ultimate potential to make money, to be successful. They want Wicked to be such a huge hit that they continue to do these types of movies. Yeah, they have big dreams, and they have big dreams of being successful and building a life together, allegedly for entertainment purposes. So she sees herself as this Queen of Pentacles. They're definitely on the same page, by the way, because we have the King and Queen. She sees herself as the Queen of Pentacles, and that's where she keeps her mindset. When she starts to drift off into what she would consider the noise of people talking about the past, I don't really think she goes into it too much. I think in her mind, she says, like, I'm a deeply good person, which is, Cancer 7th house. She is a good person. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but I do think that this blind spot that she continues to avoid, it could end up being her downfall if she isn't careful, because someone who's just focused on their money and the Lover's card and what they want, all's fair in love and war. This is someone who really could end up being exposed, because this type of selfishness eventually comes back to bite you. It just does. You got to take other people into account. This is karma written all over it. So, yikes. Okay, that's what I've gotten. Yeah, she's focused on the Lover's card. She's focused on her love. She's focused on her relationship with Ethan and making money and being successful. And that is where she stays focused. All right, you guys. Well, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you guys are watching this on Spotify or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star review if you like this, because I need to get some more reviews up, and it would just help me so, so much to continue growing this podcast. So thank you guys for everything, and I appreciate you being here. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.